Prologue. The following was written a number of years ago. Consequently, things, businesses, have changed since that time. I'm not going to amend those parts of the essay because I want a record of those changes to stand. It's interesting to see just how quickly such things change. Part of the essay is about the lake house, the Maudelton Hotel, and part is about the Fisher Building. Once upon a time the hotel occupied the southeast corner of Liberty and Division/Main Streets, pictured. It's today on the southwest corner of Liberty and Exchange Streets. The Maudelton Hotel was originally constructed on level ground, when it stood on the corner of Main and Division Streets. See photograph. But when it was moved down the hill, the basement was built into the hill to level the building. Thus, a frontal view shows a 3-story hotel and a side view shows a 4-story building, in old pictures. Now, stepping back to last week's story for a moment, the tallest of our baby-faced gang jumped up and grabbed the bottom of the hotel's fire escape, and we gingerly scampered up the ladder to the first entrance, and quietly as possible forced the door open. It wasn't exactly precision cat burglary. It was also daylight. We all had to be home by dinner time. That would be 6 o'clock on a summer evening. So we had a window of about 30 minutes to get in, look around, and get out. As I mentioned before, the floors creaked and we whispered because we thought the people in the bar below might hear us and come running. Looking back, I sincerely doubt that anyone in their right mind would have come running. Not in that building. The possibility of crashing through 3 stories of rotting floor seemed rather distasteful. Years of disuse had taken their toll. And through the dust we crept, half expecting to be met by a ghost in the dim hallway of the old hotel. We came to the first door of the nearest room and pushed it open. I am still astounded by meeting the past on its own terms outside of a museum. This was real. Nothing fancy, just old, left the way it was the day someone closed the door, and went home. There was a big brass bed with a straw mattress, reminiscent of that old poem, "Sleep tight, don't let the bedbugs bite." There was an old dresser with a porcelain water pitcher and bowl on it. And a great deal of dust, or did I mention that? What a letdown. Getting in and out of the place without being caught was real thrilling. But the place itself, it was an old decrepit hotel. A bunch of dusty rooms with brass beds, old water pitchers, and brass numbers on the door. Now back to the Fisher Building, pictured as it was being constructed. It abuts the Maudelton. In fact, there are a set of stairs which run from the front porch of the hotel to an apartment on the top floor of the building above, part of the Encore resale shop. After the building was built in 1915, Elton Fisher and Albert Waddy Stone, co-negation, owned a new Buick agency on the lower floor. That didn't last too long, and the building was split into several different business spaces. When I was a boy, the A&P Market occupied the largest portion of the building on the southwest front of the structure, which is now preparing for a new business, and the rest of the structure was occupied by Ann's Lunch, Ed Meese Realty, Ding and Doc Jeffries Park Market, Wilmer Jumps, now the Encore Shop, Variety Store, and the Vermilion Post Office. Upstairs there was also a variety of things. What I remember best was the main part where the Vermilion Court was located. It had been a roller rink for a time. It had, and has, nice hardwood floors. I later attended kindergarten there. Ginny Osberg was the director. What a plethora of memories. The day, in the early 1950s, when the Vermilion fisheries burned to the ground along the river, I watched with wide eyes as the industry went up in smoke from an upstairs window of that building. It was the end of one era and the beginning of another in Vermilion history.